Is that Brandon? Yes, it is. Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to be reacting to my last collation of saved tweets. So this is episode 5. If you haven't checked out 4, 3, 2 or 1, don't forget to go and check those out. I'm sure the links will be in the description. I just want to say that I'm really sorry if these videos have been very boring, but I've had these tweets saved on my phone for a couple of months because I knew I wanted to come back to them, react to them, and just have a little listen and a little, well, can't listen to quotes, but have a little feedback on those quotes, shall we say. So I have about 30 odd in this video, probably the biggest and longest video of all of them, but I will try and get through them as quick as I can. So the first one is from Louise, that posted this on Facebook. Anyone else boil the kettle twice, just in case the boiling water has gone cold in the 10 seconds you haven't been there. I think this is just a standard thing that all students do anyway. The fact that you will make a cup of tea, and no matter how long or how little you stand there for, you're just going to reheat it back up again, especially if you've been in a conversation, especially if you've gone to the toilet, or if you've done something else that's not sort the tea out, that actually, yeah, you will just reheat that tea up just to make sure that it is still hot. Alexander, LMAO, shout out to that one person that hears you when you're talking in a group and smiles and replies to you while no one else is even paying attention, so you don't feel like a complete waste of space. I think this happens all the time as well, that actually, whether you're in a group discussion in real life or a group discussion in an actual group, like a social media online group, there's always a few people that when someone messages, no one will reply to them. And I think I'm usually that sort of person that in a group chat, the group chat will be going da 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 da, and I'll just put something and I might get, someone might like my comment, but no one's going to reply to it. Don't know what that is, but yeah, the shout out to the one person that does like the comment or that actually does reply to that comment, because yeah, most of the time I feel like a bit of a sideman. Another one here from a YouTube friend. My girlfriend never gets me flowers and I'm grateful because they make me sneeze and die. Standard. I feel like if they're fake flowers, they're okay, but then it defeats the whole point of getting flowers, because usually you'd want to just get real flowers. But then if it makes you feel like that, obviously it's not. Next tweet here is from Connor Maun. I think it's Maun. Showers are great for thought and self-reflection unless you're sad, in which case you just stand there feeling sorry for yourself, wasting litres of water like the piece of SHIT you are. I think that's quite an interesting tweet, but I think it's like a backhanded compliment. So it's a nice way, but phrased slightly weird. The fact that, yeah, showers are fantastic for like thinking about things and reflecting on life and that sort of thing, but if you're really sad, then you're just wasting all that water. But I think actually one of the good things about having long showers, or just one of the long things about just doing things alone, doing things on your own, is that you can just focus on one or two things at once without having to think about anything else in the real world. So even if you are sad, you can reflect, why are you sad? What can you do to make yourself happy? What things usually make you happy? And actually, how can you get yourself to a better position? So although you would be technically wasting all that water, you're not wasting your brain cells, because you're thinking about, hang on, why am I sad? What's made me sad? And how can I get back to being happy? When you start a job in a restaurant, you should be given a one-off pass that you can use anytime during your employment to fight a customer. So I've never worked in a restaurant, never worked in a bar. I think I've only ever had 1 or 2 jobs, but they've been office-based. But I think this could be quite an interesting one. I have a lot of friends that work in like diners and pubs and bars, and there's always just those few customers, and I think I've seen it as well, that they're just like slightly rude or slightly arrogant or clicking their fingers, and I'm just like, you need to just wait. It could be, I mean, obviously that the likelihood of this happening is very unlikely, but I think it might be quite funny to actually allow this to happen, like on a TV show or something, that if there's customers being rude, actually you get one golden ticket to just sort of slap one or have a fight with someone, but then you'd probably lose your job, so not a very good idea. Jack Nolan, my housemate. She was on the train home and she was leaving the carriage. She went to let out a silent fart. Instead, she let out a loud one, pressed the wrong button on the train. The doors closed on her, trapping her with the strangers. She's just loudly gasped. So firstly, I think that was probably quite embarrassing for that girl, because not only did she break wind, she's also got trapped in the train, and the people that she gassed were in that same train with her. Yeah, I feel like I've done the same thing before, but I've had a lucky escape where I've done it just as I was stepping off the platform. So yeah, the train probably did end up smelling, but I was long gone and there's no way they can trace that fart back to me. I've not really done that many times, but I feel like with a fart, sometimes you just have to do it. It's better to fart than just hold it in, because then it becomes even worse. Anyway, let's move on. This is another tweet from my friend Serene. Honestly, silence is much better than saying something not required. As the old saying says, if you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And again, I think this is one of those things that can relate to absolutely everybody. There are so many people in the world that will criticise you no matter what you do. Whether you do something good, whether you do something bad, whether you do something new. And I think the best thing to say to those people is, look, if you're not going to say anything nice and you're just going to criticise, say negative things, and it's like your opinion or no opinion, then I'm not being funny, I don't really want to hear it. I'm 21 years old. Yes, I'm probably a lot younger than some of the people that I talk to or that I'm friends with, but I'm still just as mature as those people because I've had to grow up incredibly quickly. So yeah, nice quote there. If you haven't got anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. The next one here is from Spice Bay. People's apologies will tell you if they're worthy of a second chance from you or not. Now, I'm the sort of person that although I do apologise for things most of the time, I find it very, very difficult to apologise because I've grown up not really talking to people. Now that I have the privilege of doing that, I just feel embarrassed when I have to apologise for doing things wrong because I don't necessarily expect to do things wrong. But it's like every so often it'll just be like, oh, I'm really sorry for that. Like, because it's not that I feel sorry for myself, it's the fact that I just find it difficult to say so. And I think everyone does. I think if you end up in an argument with someone and you lose the argument, you're automatically going to think, oh, I've just really wound this person up and now they're probably going to hate me and they proved me wrong, la la. But then if you say sorry, it makes you feel weak, and that exactly makes me feel weak. So for me, if I do something wrong, I will stick by my guns no matter how wrong or right I think I've been. And when it comes to apologising, I'll just do like a quick little, oh, I'm really sorry, move on, because I just don't like apologising. And I think for me, in terms of an apology, I would apologise, but then I would pull that person to the side and have a private chat away from everyone else. I wouldn't want to do it in front of a massive crowd. I would just sort of go, look, I couldn't apologise to you because I'm the sort of person that I get slightly awkward and slightly weird about it anyway, so I thought I'd pull you to the side and just talk to you alone. And that usually does work. I haven't really had to apologise for anything recently because people in my life I care about, people not in my life don't really care about, to be fair. Another one here, Hannah Witten, an unpopular opinion, but the pub with your mates is better than the club. Now I think I can agree with this one as well, because although going clubbing is really, really fun, because alcohol is there, it just makes you want it. And so many times I've been out and I've had a bad influence with me who's just sort of gone, go on, have a drink, get a shot. And I've just been like, no. And then I thought, actually, you know what, I might as well. And that one shot has turned into two. Those 2 shots have turned into 4. The 4 shots have turned into doubles of something else. So I think for me, going to the pub, it's nice because you're in a more civilised area. You don't have to pay because a spoons is free. Clubs usually have to pay entry for. And there's food as well. So you're at Wetherspoons, you're with your friends, you could play like card games and all sorts of games, and there is food. Unlike a club, it's literally just alcohol and dance floor, loud music. In a pub, I don't think there's music. Or if there is, you can't really hear it. So I think the pub is much better with your mates than a club. It's cheaper and there's food. One thing I realised a while ago is that some crushes are better left as crushes. Sometimes you only like someone because you don't know enough about them to dislike them. Now I think this is really, really relatable as well. There are so many people in my life that I thought, right, he's fit. And it's like, I've not wanted to go further, but then at the same time I've sort of been like, I have. But then I come to terms that actually, I only know that person based on that one time I've seen them drunk, or based on that one time that I've kissed him, or based on those few times that I've seen them around in the area, but I don't know enough about them to dislike them, so that reason is that I still like them, basically. Bit of a complicated one, but yeah, I think some crushes are better left off as crushes. If you don't know enough about someone to know whether they're a good or bad person, assume they're bad till proven otherwise. That's what I like to do. If I meet someone, initially, I'll be able to get a reaction whether I think they're a good or bad person, but I would just assume everyone's bad until they prove me wrong, because I've been done badly so many times. The moment you break into your tenner, you might as well just spend the rest of it because it's pretty much all gone anyway. I think that's just a British thing, that I very, very rarely like to take my card out, so I do have cash on me. But then it's like when you do spend the cash, you're like, oh, I wish I would have had my card, because now I've got to split into a £20 note, a £10 note, any form of note, when actually it probably was easier to take your card in the first place. Another one here from Jack. I just use AirDrop to check which of my housemates were at home, and if that isn't the most millennial thing you've heard all day, then I don't know what is. I think millennial is in terms of our generation, so the fact that in order to search for people, you've not actually gone to their rooms and asked them if they're in, you just use AirDrop to see if they're close by. I think that's actually quite an interesting thing to do. I could probably do that, but half of my flat have Android phones, so I don't think I'd be able to do that. But yeah, I think that's quite an interesting thing. I think a lot of people do that at university, whether it's Snap Maps, so Snapchat, seeing where people are around, or whether it's through iPhone AirDrop. Yeah, it is quite an interesting technique. A lot of people do it, and a lot of people do use it, and I know from personal experience that they do it. And I think that's the amazing thing about Twitter, that there are so many relatable tweets and so many relatable quotes and people out there that every so often you just see something and go, oh yeah, that does relate to me. So I'm sure there'll be more coming soon, but just hold on tight. Another one here from Ultelika Johnson. Time is the most valuable asset you have in your life, 100%. You don't have much time as it is, so you need to sort of prove people wrong with the time that you do have. If you have pickles in your Pic Mac, you're the definition of disgusting, absolutely. Don't have Big Macs anyway, but I obviously don't like pickles either, but that's gross. I can fully agree with that one. I'm not waiting anymore for this and that. I'm taking things on my own matters, like my granny told me. If I don't start working towards what I want, then it will never happen. Better hop on the bandwagon, because if you ain't on it, you're getting left behind. I think that's quite a true one as well, that actually don't spend your time waiting around for other people, and don't spend your time waiting for things to happen. If you want something to happen, just at least make a start on it yourself now. I think for me, one thing I obviously wanted to start this year was my podcast. I haven't actually got any episodes recorded for that, and my aim was, right, I'll get some guests on, and at least that can restart it. But then at the same time, I'm like, I can easily just start a podcast on my own. I've got a couple of episodes. I've got one guest so far because the other ones seem to corrupt, but I spoke about that last year. But I think in terms of my podcast, I could easily just start it whenever, about whatever topics, because the podcast is about me sharing my thoughts, and it doesn't need to necessarily be other people or other people just yet anyway. This is actually from one of my university friends, Eleanor. This is deep and lame, but I've met so many toxic people at uni, and I know 100% my experience would have been better if I didn't meet them. Now, I'm not sure if that's a mood, but that is an absolute mood for me, because literally I've started university and my friend groups have pretty much changed every single year. In first year, I was friends with all my flatmates, I was friends with all the people in the Pride Society, I was friends with people in societies that don't even exist anymore, to be fair. And then through second and third year, my friends have just changed. I've still got friends in each of those societies, and I've still got my flatmates from first year that I'm friends with and whatever, but the groups have just slightly changed. And I think that's just something that happens over the time at university and even school. Like, as you grow, other people grow. As you make new friends, other people are making new friends. So if you're lucky enough to have those people, that you're growing, they're growing, but you still grow with each other, that's really, really nice to see. So yeah, I'm still friends with some of the people, but yeah, there have been a lot of toxic people that I have met at university. Are you ever on Facebook and see two people share the same post, and depending on who you like better, that is the post that you like? Again, quite relatable. If it's someone I don't like or someone I like, obviously I'm gonna like the post of the person that I like, but then why would I have the person I don't like on my Facebook? I don't know, some people I just have because I have. Not really a tweet, but it's basically how people rename projects. So project 2, project 2 final, project 2 final, project 2 this better be the last export. And I think that's just basically, yeah, when people make video projects or edit sounds, this is the amount of time that it takes. And I don't think people are sensible enough to make separate names like file 1 edit 1, file 1 edit 2. It's literally just gibberish by the end of it. So I can fully relate to that as a media student. How many more have I got? Oh, 4 left, wicked. One by Pixels. I don't understand people who have a big ego because of having more followers than others. I mean, sure, be proud of what you've achieved, but if you think you're superior than someone because you have more followers than them, you're dumb. Now, I've got a couple of thousand on Twitter, but that's just because I used to share my links everywhere. My Instagram links, my Twitter links, my YouTube links, everywhere, and then people just started all to just come to one place. Now, I think for me, a lot of my followers are inactive anyway. I've never bought followers on Twitter. I did on Instagram a couple of years ago, but that was years ago. But to me, absolutely, numbers just mean nothing. Like she said on the tweet, be proud of what you've achieved. You're not anywhere higher than anybody else, basically. Numbers are just your audience, your growth. But actually, someone with 2,000 followers compared to 2 million could still be just as influential. The numbers don't mean anything. It's the person behind the account. So can fully relate to that. Just realised the guy I'm flirting with can't see any of the emojis I'm sending because he has an Android. Nothing more to say. iPhone is better than Android. As if I've carried 3 plates and a litre jug of water to a table for the customer to say, I think I need a glass for that water. Yeah, I know, hun. I wasn't expecting you to stick your finger in it and start absorbing it via osmosis, but unfortunately, Sharon, I only have 2 hands. Again, I think this is one of those relating to waitressing and being in a restaurant that actually people only have two hands. I know there are some waiters that have like the little black trays that carry like 7,000 drinks at once. Now, firstly, I don't know how they do that, but I think, yeah, in this sort of situation, it's like, I've got my jug, I've got my plate of food, and I'm giving you that. Well, obviously I can get you something else, but at least wait for me to just put it down. Yeah, interesting quote there, and very, very relatable there. Roisin, I don't know why I keep checking my bank balance to see if it's increased. Like, what do I expect to happen? Money to magically appear or what? I think this is just a thing that a lot of students do. A lot of students like to just check their accounts and just finger cross that money's basically getting in your account. I think for me, there's more money coming out because I'm having to pay rent and I'm having to pay other people back, and I'm going to Wetherspoons. So I think for me, there's money going out rather than in. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. One from Cody Wanner, explaining to my kids that we have to use please and thank you when talking to adults, but it's not necessary when addressing Alexa. Felt like the beginning of an apocalyptic dystopian thriller. Now, if you don't know what Alexa is, it's basically Siri, but in terms of this little like speaker thing, and you go, hey Alexa, and she goes, hi, says your name, and then you give it instructions. But the amount of people I've tried to see use it, including my nan, and so many videos I've seen online of people not saying hey Alexa loud enough, or calling Alexa Alexi or something. I think that was the video I saw. He was like, Alexi, work! Well, obviously it wasn't going to work. So say please and thank you to everything else and everyone else, just not Alexa. Just shout her, hey Alexa! And last but not least, the final tweet for this video is by Adam Jack, another YouTuber. There's nothing more jarring, annoying, than when YouTubers don't make the volume of their outro music match the rest of their video, and all of a sudden a royalty-free trap remix perforates your eardrums. And I think this is in terms of YouTubers and content creators, that actually, when it comes to the end of your videos, just make sure that all of your sound sort of links up. Because I know personally as well, some people, beginning of the video, the intro, really, really good. The actual video, yeah, sometimes the music overpowers the voice. And again, I can fully like advocate that for myself as well, that there have been so many times, so many of my old videos where I've been talking, but I've forgotten to turn the music down so you can hear the music louder than you can hear me. And then right at the end, the outro music is just very, very loud. So just sort of balance out your sound at the end of the videos. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is all of my tweets. Every single one of the tweets that I had saved. I think there was a couple of hundred that I decided not to use because they're quite boring. But I thought I would just react to all of the ones that I'd saved. I think there was about 200 and something odd in total. Had to split that down into 5 videos. But I do hope you enjoyed these 5 little videos. And there'll be more segments and more series coming soon to my channel. I just need to work on them, plan on them, film them, and get them scheduled before university starts getting all complicated for me. But yeah, if you did enjoy this one, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Let me know what your favourite quotes and tweets were from any of the 5 videos so far, and actually, what would you like to see on my channel? I have said that in pretty much every single video, but let me know, as the viewers, what do you guys and girls want to see on my channel? I'm very, very open, happy to try anything. Not really into challenges, pranks, or those sorts of things, but I'm happy to do anything that includes talking, because I can talk for England. So yeah, let me know. And until then, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week for my new video. And until then, bye bye.